Palais by SAT. Look, some good news. Hold on. Palais? Yes, that's right. Boy, SAT has something called, hold on, Palais. Look, talk, SAT is having a special for this independent season, and you need to get connected to enjoy the benefits. It's called Palais. Once you set up and connected with SAT, you can talk to your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, stepmother, stepbrother, stepsister, the whole step. Palais is so sweet with your connection to SAT Telecoms, and especially when you get your internet connection, no hidden fees, no hidden charges. You get free SAT to SAT telephone connection. You also get free installation, and you get no charges on your talk time. And you get your telephone for free. Oh, but I pay, boy. You don't hear? Palais. But I do. So you have at home your TV, SAT TV. You have your internet, SAT internet. And now, phone. Look at Palais. All your talk is sweet. Hello. Take advantage of one of SAT's 5 internet packages in our Palais specials. You can get the Breezy, the Warm-Up, the Maverick, the Jetstream, and the Warp Drive. Don't forget the Palais. These packages starting at $28.75. Palais. Yeah, don't forget from SAT. This independent season, don't forget it's happening at SAT. Palais. Festival, c'est manger. Tout le monde, manger. Mais SAT, c'est Palais. Yep, Palais. Yes.
Good evening, I am Nisha Charles.
And I am Deslin Joseph.
And we are your presenters for today. Thank you for joining us for SAT TV News. Among the major developments, vendors remain furious at police for demantling their stalls.
Fidel Castro rejects rumors of ill health.
Candidates spy on foreign policy.
And in sports, West Indies will play 3-day night matches against Bangladesh during their tour.
Details of these and other stories after the break. Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. The Dominica Social Security, the DSS, is hosting a regional compliance and financial risk management workshop for compliance officers, inspectors of social security institutions from within CARICOM. The opening ceremony took place on Monday, October 22nd at the Fort Young Hotel and will run for the next 4 days. Over 30 participants are expected to take part in the workshop. Director of the Dominica Social Security, Mrs. Janice Jean-Jacques Thomas, says the workshop is being conducted at a time when efforts of compliance are being stemmed by the prevailing economic conditions, which hinders the ability of many employers to honor their financial obligations.
It is hoped that the sharing that will take place will reveal certain best practices that can be adopted by them and thus strengthen their execution of the compliance function. At the end of the workshop, therefore, it is expected that we will have achieved a greater level of collaboration among our compliance officers located in the various territories and foster more opportunities for them to build greater synergies in our legislation.
Topics to be covered at the workshop include economic climate and its impact on the performance of Social Security, understanding the nature of risks and how to imitate them, and management of employer delinquencies. Mrs. Thomas says the workshop is rather timely because we are in a period of economic uncertainty and the topics chosen emphasize this.
Indeed, it must be recognized that the non-participation of eligible stakeholders coupled with the non-payment of contributions have long-term adverse effects on the fund as well as the future well-being of those whom the system was meant to protect. And so, because of the critical role of compliance, we look forward to the active participation of all and a successful workshop.
Acting Prime Minister Honorable Ambrose Joyce says the aspects of Social Security operations is the most critical area since it impacts the effectiveness with which the other aspects are carried out.
I'm advised that this workshop is intended to better equip you to more effectively execute the compliance function of your respective social security and national insurance institutions. It will allow all of you, as inspectors, to deliberate on issues that are germane to your day-to-day activities while contemplating strategies that have the primary goal of ensuring that a larger segment of our population becomes contributors to social security and national insurance schemes.
He says this will allow the inspectors to deliberate on issues that affect the day-to-day activities while contemplating strategies that ensure the larger population become contributors to social security and national insurance schemes.
The initiative to mount this workshop is consistent with the government's quest to adopt best practices in delivering all its services to citizens and consistent with the principles of good governance. Clearly, there is much knowledge among you that to a large degree the solutions that are sought already exist among you. By that I mean that from your exchanges and the sharing of your country-specific experiences, you may discover some best practices that could be replicated in each jurisdiction.
At the end of the 4-day workshop, it is hoped that the participants will be better equipped to carry out their duties as compliance officers, and they will recommit themselves to remain vigilant even in the face of challenges.
And in more local news, Warner was colorful and bright as many participated and celebrated Heritage Day on Sunday 21st October 2012. The event began with a Holy Mass by Bishop Gabriel Malzer on the Warner playing field, followed by an exhibition at the Warner Primary School, and in closing a cultural gala and honoring of cultural elder Mr. Henry Alexander.
Moi, je pense que ces diplomates là qui comprennent ça, bienvenue à tutti. Et nous supposons au matin, nous sommes en chaîne pour nous célébrer fête Dominique, fête héritage. C'est une bonne occasion nous pour aider bon Dieu et pour oui messieurs pour tout ça qu'il a fait à parmi nous et tout ça qu'il a fait ban nous.
As the mass proceeded, individuals danced and sang their way to receive the Holy Communion. Following the Mass was an exhibition that included arts and crafts, cultural wear, local made products, and many more. The public was amazed of how talented and skillful Dominicans are. Not only did the public view the amazing things that were on display, but they interacted with the people who made them. Last of all was a cultural gala with speeches from the ministers and the chairperson of the Warner Development Committee, as well as Warner Heritage Day Committee Mrs. Jennifer Julian Loda. Mrs. Loda commended everyone who participated and contributed towards the progress of heritage.
Thank you, Father Coffey. The coordinators of the subcommittees were identified, and they had the same level of enthusiasm. Ms. Lynn Henry from the Lunch Committee, when asked to head that committee, immediately said, "I can do that." Her level of confidence told both Mr. Lawrence and myself that we need not worry. When I thought I needed Mr. Philip Bruno on the committee to chair the proceedings, he said, "No, I want to be with the Lunch Committee. I like to cook."
Representative of Warner, Mr. Raymond Blackmore, says, "We should never forget our culture, history, and the people who worked very hard to get us to the point that we are today."
And today, officers, the people of Warner,
an opportunity to bring out the brightest versions in us. And how do we do that, therefore? We do that by embracing all of you who came from the various parts of this country to celebrate with us today. We do that in one, by ensuring that we conduct ourselves in a spirit of peace and love. We do that by ensuring that we bring out the best talent in ourselves through our wear, through our music.
Mr. Henry Alexander, born in One on February 18, 1940, was honored.
Watch it, watch it.
Cultural elder being sashed by His Excellency, the President of Dominica, Mr. Eliud Williams.
In more news, although the government has been claiming they have been making major investments in the agricultural sector island-wide, one community power rep says his community has not been benefiting. Parliamentary representative for the Marigot constituency, Honorable Edison James, says the Kayambok and Laga feeder roads have been neglected for far too long and action needs to be taken.
When we review the history of the efforts to persuade the authorities to pay some attention to that feeder road, I think we cannot blame the people of Marigot, particularly the farmers served by the Kayambok Road, to feel that we've been subjected to victimization and contempt. We'll be happy to be proven wrong.
Mr. James says that he had spoken about this feeder road issue to the House of Parliament and have also written about it. He even went as far as to invite Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit to take a look at the road along with a team of engineers. Mr. James says that with all this, no action has been taken by the government to address the feeder road constraints that the farmers in Marigot have been facing for far too long.
Some time ago when I spoke, I think last year when I spoke here, and I mentioned that road among others, my good cousin Ronald said I must say it in the House. Well, Ronald, I've said it in the House as well. I've said it in the House as well. And so I feel your pain, Madam Chair. I feel your pain, Mr. Chairman of the Village Council. I feel our pain because I'm involved in it as well. But we trust that as we partner, we will get some relief from that pain not too long from now. But we can't give up, notwithstanding that.
The parliamentary representative from Marigot urges his villagers to partner with each other to address the feeder road situations in the community, especially the Kayambok to Laga feeder roads.
We cannot partner with ourselves alone. Mr. Ministers, Mrs. Minister, we look forward to true and meaningful partnership going forward. So we ask you, as you seek to engage in that partnership with all the people throughout the country, as far as Marigot is concerned, we ask you to be firm, yes, be true, yes, but be fair as well.
With this partnership, he said things will be better and there will be a true difference in the efficiency of agriculture in the community.
And in more local news, outside the DPSU building on Tuesday, October 23rd, police were seen demolishing vendor stalls at Windsor Gap. The vendors who were enraged with fury and demanded that the city council return their monies because they had paid to set up their tents in the area. One of the vendors was very distraught because she had no other means of supporting her family and doesn't know what will happen next.
I make a little money there yesterday. I just come out and spend everything. All the 2 pail of chicken soaking there. So what am I supposed to do?
What did you pay to be here today?
$150 we pay. Understand?
I with her. I help you.
Oh no, I don't know what I going and do. All the drinks in ice. I cannot bring back the drinks. What I going and do? I have all my children to send to school, boy. What they want us to do in that country? Thief? Sell drugs? Huh? What they want us to do? They just come and just mash up people's things.
Another vendor is furious because she paid $150 to vend in the area and she wants her money back.
It's when I owe him the bank, I just barely give it a land. The bank write me 4 letters already for the month. I can bring it in the office because I'm not working. Now I said I'm going to clear my bills. No pressure on me. Pressure!
The vendors say that they received permission from the city council to be there and there was no indication that this was against the law. Mayor of Roseau, His Worship Cecil Joseph, says the only area that were off limits in his mind were Virgin Lane and Buds Avenue. He says the vendors are occupying Windsor Gap, so this should not be an issue.
I owe in SMB $86. I don't pay my SMB. My daughter going to college, my son. I have a child in grammar school and I'm working. My husband is working fast, so let's fire him. Because they said they don't have place to put him because there's Michael. I don't work nowhere. Now I can say I'm going to clear my bills. I have 4 letters the bank sent for my loan.
Them people mash.
No, they're doing that to people. They shouldn't be doing people that.
Based on the notice that was issued with regard to traffic and vending, no vendors were allowed to set up stalls on either side of Valley Road and on parts of Boys Avenue from Public Service Union Building to Valley Road.
With the introduction of Black Sigatoka disease in Dominica taking the front burner in the eradication efforts, one senior forestry official is of the view that this same approach is needed for the overshadowed but deadly citrus greening disease. Mr. Joseph Blandford, coordinator of the citrus certification program, says in an effort to deal with the disease, a citrus certification program was formulated back in 2007. He said that this was done as they noted back in 1997, limes in the Soufriere catchment area were dying and they had no idea at the time why this was so because of the rapid nature of the disease. However, upon research and tests that were carried out, it was discovered that the culprit was the citrus triticum virus.
That virus primarily affected all of the citrus varieties, but what we noticed is that the limes were more susceptible to the virus. So what we've noticed, a number of the limes in the Soufriere area, we noticed in the years gone by, Soufriere was a major lime producing area, particularly the West Indian limes. When we had the company, Edwards and Company, which were purchasing the limes for juicing to get the oil, the lime oil, as well as the lime concentrate for export. And what we have noticed, a lot of the limes in those areas have started to die. And the dying back was rapid in certain areas. Upon research, upon the tests that were carried out, what was discovered that we had the rapid decline strain of the Triticum virus in that particular area. And as such, what we were noticing that the limes were dying very, very rapidly.
Mr. Blandford said during their investigations, it was noticed that the disease with time spread to other areas of Dominica.
That particular disease, citrus triticum virus, was transmitted by what we call the citrus brown aphids, which is an insect which, what we call the vector. The vector is what moved this disease from plant A to plant B. All diseases require what we call a vector to move it from one point to another. In that case, the citrus triticum virus is transmitted by the citrus brown aphids. We would have noticed it on all of the citrus trees and also on alternate hosts, like Gloricidia and other plant species. You will notice the brown aphids on it, but it preferred the young shoots of the citrus. So what you notice, particularly in the dry period, when you're getting a lot of young flush on the citrus, you'll notice a colony of young insects and also black ants associated with it. What the ants are...
He said since the insect does not fly, they live in a symbiotic relationship with black ants, which move the insect from the lower to the other parts of the plant. The citrus coordinator pointed out that most of Dominica's citrus was budded on the sour orange, which is used as a rootstock, since the sour orange has adapted to a number of diseases and insects, fungus and bacteria. However, this universal rootstock for limes, oranges and tangerines, among others, is very prone to the citrus triticum virus, and as a result, all fruits budded on the sour orange will eventually die. He pointed out that this is the fight against the disease, that they have received assistance from the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, to assist in the consultancy work in getting the consultants to look at the disease. The consultants' work included observing the spread, the strains whether viral or mild, and in addition to assistance from Trinidad, Cuba and Venezuela's government to develop the citrus certification program.
The citrus certification program is geared towards ensuring that you produce clean, disease-free, healthy planting material following what we call a protocol. The protocol in itself will outline the various steps and processes that you have to follow to ensure that you have a clean, healthy, vigorous planting material. If you look around on the facility, you'll notice we have a number of screen houses and we have specific infrastructures developed to ensure that we follow the terms as outlined in the protocol.
The citrus certification program comprises of 3 aspects, which are sanitation, which ensure all tools or items used in the production of the plants are thoroughly cleaned to prevent the spread of the virus. There is also the quarantine aspect. All the diseases are indexed to know all the symptoms and whether they are located in Dominica, and tested during the production stage to make sure the disease is not replicated. The propagation aspect deals with producing of the planting materials.
But with citrus greening, or what we call Wanglong bean, there is no known resistant rootstock, and there is no known chemical that you can use that you can say spray the tree and then you will make it immune to that particular disease. The solution to a particular disease, once that particular disease is identified and a tree is identified as a positive to that particular disease, that they can confirm the disease is present in that particular tree, that tree has to be eradicated. And there's a specific way in which that must be done. Extreme care has to be taken in the handling of those. Any infected tree that has any suspected or confirmed symptom of citrus greening.
Mr. Blandford pointed out that the public should refrain from growing sweet lime hedges, as it is the preferred host of the vector Asian Citrus Phyllis, since the sweet lime has a constant young flush, so there is always food for the vector to feed and replicate. Some information the public should also follow to prevent the spread of the disease are but only certified plants, look out for the vector, and maintain good culture practices on farms. Also, do not remove any plants or planting material from infected areas, and if the disease is confirmed in your area, do not take any action other than calling an extension officer who has to destroy the plants with extreme caution. Persons can contact the Botanical Gardens on telephone number 266-3820 or 266-3803 if any signs of the disease is spotted.
Oh, the irrigation system is the sprinklers above?
Yeah, for the seeds.
Oh, okay.
For the seedlings. Right. These are plants. We extract most of them already, but that's what we normally do there. If you want a close up, you can go buy one of them bins and get a close up of some of these.
And in more local news, in an effort to educate the general public on customer service, Dr. Ben Henry will be conducting the course entitled Training of Trainers course from October 22nd to 24th. Dr. Henry believes that good customer service is essential for both the employees as well as the customers. He also thinks that good customer service is what makes any country move forward.
As you know, the government has embarked on a customer service initiative, to instill customer service concepts, ensuring that all employees within the 7 targeted agencies embrace good customer service skills. Now, in order to ensure that when I'm out of the picture, training still goes on.
Dr. Henry stated that constant reinforcement is critical to the public, especially those within customer service departments.
Because if you don't do this, then people are going to forget. People easily forget, to smile, to maintain eye contact, to do what they're supposed to do. So this constant reinforcement will ensure that people, that the civil servants, the people involved in this program will deliver world-class service. That's the only way it's going to work, that constant reinforcement. So these persons here will be delivering the customer service training.
He stated that his main expectation is at the end of the course they will be prepared to begin training in customer service. A trainer's guide will be given to each individual. Dr. Henry has been in this business for about 30 years, as well as training people throughout the Caribbean and in the United States.
Well, I've been doing this from all the way from the Bahamas down to Suriname. And this program that the government has embarked on is an excellent one, because the whole idea of governments having customs charters is very novel. Dominica will be one of 30 countries worldwide that will have a customer charter, in a few months' time.
One of the participants, Mr. Hilarion Joel, says, so far the course has been very informative, educational and entertaining. He says this is a good idea and this will benefit the public servants.
The various aspects to this training, it is really the principles and practices of being a trainer. The facilitator, Dr. Ben Henry, has informed us tremendously on the benefits of training, the cost of training. Various organizations and supervisors sometimes don't see the need for training because we're sometimes clouded by the tremendous costs.
Now let's go to the Botanical Gardens with views from patrons at the 10th annual Creole in the Park.
My name is Terry Carter. I'm from San Diego, California. This is my first time here. I celebrated my 50th birthday yesterday. And it's really nice, a different culture, the food, the music, the people, it's really nice.
My name is Tanya Carter. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm having a wonderful time. It's the first time I've experienced something like this. All the people and the music, it's just been incredible. The food, I'm just having a wonderful time.
I'm there for the 10th time again. I always supporting Creole in the Park. Yesterday was a bit bigger because, you know, you had Triple K there and all the young people came out for Triple K. Today is Calypso. The crowd not as big as yesterday, but I expect it to be bigger tomorrow and then the last day with Mr. Vegas. That's trendsetter there, enjoying Creole in the Park.
So, I keep coming back every day because there's different artists, you know, different stuff to look forward to. Different bars, different stuff, you know, that's like every year we have our promotion. Right now there's a promotion going on. Chebe South for $5. Kukuli is very good. It's entertainment, you know, it's one of the greatest times of year and it's really good. I'm enjoying myself, I'm having fun and it's really nice. I would advise anybody to come out and have fun.
It's something that you can't afford to miss. There are 2 other days. I know you also need to be resting for the other 3 days on the weekend for pulsating rhythm. But there are 2 other days remaining that you need to come out there to see our local artists, also enjoy our local foods, and the atmosphere is truly amazing as a Dominican culture. So we should, all Dominicans should come, patronize, and be part of it.
It's a little bit more than what I expected. The music, the live bands, the singers, the performances is really nice.
Okay, my name is Andy, I'm from St. Lucia.
Oh, are you enjoying yourself on the second day of Creole in the Park?
Well, I find it's it's exquisite, it's nice. I love it very much because, trust me, it's second to none, eh? Best in the Caribbean so far, I must say that.
Well, we came in from St. Lucia, we're police officers. I've visited Dominica before, but it's a pleasure to be here. I've always been a dream of mine to be at the festival. And it's wonderful so far. I've been here every single day of the week. I will be there every single day for the rest of the week until I'm back. I'm ready to go back home. It's very wonderful.
Well, as you can see, we have a lovely weather this year. We are blessed because of that. And it's something that we're always very happy about because it complements the festival. What we are hoping that the people come even before Creole in the Park, have Creole in the Park, enjoy the Creole Festival with us, increase our arrivals and our expenditure. So from a tourism standpoint, we are very much happy that we have an event like that and it's growing bigger. And as I said, it continues to complement the Creole Music Festival.
Hey, who didn't come down there yesterday? Who didn't come down there today? Make sure you're here tomorrow. CK all the way.
This is Larry Laroff reporting for SAT TV News.
This has been your local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.